Hello, the new season is finally here. It's a time for optimism, enthusiasm and excitement for the campaign ahead. Who am I kidding on? It's a new season, but this is Scottish football, Gav. It's we're all going to be as angry and as grumpy as ever, and that's just the way we like it, isn't it?
That's just an hour on the hotline.
That's just this show alone. This is Game On, Ricker Sports Quickfire Hot Take Podcast, as you know. Well done, folks. First of all, we survived the full pre-season. 8 weeks or so, 9 weeks without any football. Proper football was back this weekend.
Who are you kidding? You've been in Lake Como and everywhere else. Where else? You in Portugal?
Listen, they say the camera puts on £10, Gav, but covering pre-season puts on about £20, I think. Portugal, Como, it's been a hard graft.
I don't have that excuse either.
Well, you've been watching it from afar. It's been a hard graft. But listen, we're going to get stuck in. You know the drill by now. Quick fire questions, and we'll tackle all the big topics in Scottish sport. So we'll start off, Gav. Huge week in Europe. I was saying the season starting, but obviously it started in Europe earlier. Rangers, phenomenal result against Panathinaikos. Progress to the next round in the Champions League qualifiers. Are the fans now right to dream they can get all the way to the group stages?
Result being the operative word. Performance, obviously, fans picking holes in it. Well, everyone's picking holes in the performance.
Listen, surely I can't understand. I genuinely, the response to this result, I think, is bizarre. They got through.
I know.
Rangers, it's all about, I mean, it's 6 weeks in the job.
I get it, yeah.
New look squad,
So
and they've got
early,
through this, a tough time.
Yeah, exactly. Because listen, let's face it, when the draw was made, the whole thing, we've talked about it on Game On.
Yeah.
Will they be undercooked? You know, is it coming too early? So, yeah, you're right. The fact they got through is fine. It's just, I think because of the question you're asking here, can they go all the way to the league phase? You're putting that performance up against... Actually, I think Victoria Pilsen possibly is even an easier.
Actually, I think that's dangerous.
I think they could get through that. But if we're looking at can they get to the league phase, the question you're asking is, would that performance do against Benfica? Definitely not.
No.
Nice.
Tough.
Possibly, but Benfica are likely to beat.
It's going to be tough.
So you're looking at Benfica. I think they can get past Victoria Pilsen. I think if they do, they would come up short in the playoff. I just don't think they'll be ready for that, no matter what they do between now and that game coming around.
Yeah, I don't think the pressure's on, really. I don't think anyone expects them to get to the group stages. And some,
Well, the
I
great thing
think
is
there'll be
they've got
some.
the safety net now of the Europa League. They know they've got that. It's a tool they've been in before. Make a few quid.
Listen, financially, it'd be a major bonus to get to the group stage Champions League. Totally. I think the owners, they would be welcome with open arms. I think there'll be some fans and even folk around the club. I think maybe it's too soon because we seen the last time they got to the group stage, it was pretty damaging.
Yeah,
it didn't help the manager either. But I think, like you say, that safety net's good to have. I think they can dream. I mean, I think there's a lot of work needing done in that squad. I don't think they're anywhere near ready yet either. Still need a striker, I think, as well, at least. But they've made some inroads into the squad building. A great result. I think Pilsen's a dangerous one. I know people are thinking it's going to be easier than Panathinaikos. I don't think they will be. I think they'll be stronger. It's a team that's competed pretty well in the kind of Europa and the conference in recent years. They tend to get to knockout stages. I think they get edged out by Lazio last season. I think they won that league, so they're stronger than Slavia and Sparta right now.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous tie. I wouldn't be just banking that being a shoe in and bring on Benfica. Yeah. But I think they can listen. They're in the conversation, in the fight.
Yeah.
So I think we're saying, can they dream? I think they can. Will they get there? Debate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Aye.
I would bet against it.
Yeah.
But one man who will or could be part of the squad, Mikey Moore, signed on a season-long loan from Tottenham Hotspur. Lots of hype around him. Bit of a record breaker down in Tottenham for, or even English football, youngest player Englishman to score since Jimmy Greaves in Europe, and etc. etc. Loads of stats out there. Seems to be the real deal. But signing somebody like him would knock Finlay Curtis down the pecking order. What do you think in terms of, would Rangers be better developing their own players than bringing someone in who you're only going to have for a year because realistically you can't sign them?
Yeah, I take the point, but it's also, you've got to be, there's also the here and now. I mean, Rangers need quality. They need quality in the attacking areas. And listen, long term, I can understand that it maybe halts the progress of some players, but it should inspire these guys to get to that level.
So it can even help the development.
Listen, I think a lot of time we kind of say, especially Rangers and Celtic, and I see Dun United getting it in the neck this recently about not playing a Scottish player in their starting 11, and we go, this is terrible. The clubs are to blame. Well, at some point we need to put the responsibility also on these players. They have to be better. So unless you're better than the guy who's coming in, you're not going to get a game. You look at the best Scottish players through history have been better than the guys that have come in, and the guys that have made it and been successful in their careers have managed to jump ahead of these guys in the queue. So get better and you'll get a game. If Finlay Curtis was better than Mikey Moore, he'd be in the team. So listen, that's no disrespect to the kid. I think he's a good little player and he's got a big future. But this should inspire him. It shouldn't be, this is going to be detrimental. This should be an idea of where I need to get get in the team. We talk about guys in Scotland, they go, oh, he's a young player. They're like 24 years old sometimes. And they go, listen, we're all guilty of it. We write the words, the youngster. 21 years old. I mean, it's preposterous.
Yeah, and I think the other... and I think one of the problems here is, Michael, especially when you think of Rangers specifically, they have brought in a lot of these guys, and I don't think Mikey Moore will be in this bracket. I think he seems to be a generational talent, and that's why I think you're right in what you say. Rangers need to deal with the here and now. They need to win the league. They will have a better chance of winning the league with Mikey Moore, but I do think over the years they brought up guys like Shiojo, Ovia Jaria, you know, going back further, they brought Lee Martin up from Man United under Paul Le Guen, and a lot of these guys weren't, and I think that's where the problem comes. What's the point in just bringing these guys up? Because there'll be an obligation to play them. Tottenham aren't going to send them out unless he's going to get game time, and I think, you know, if they're not top level and they're keeping young talent out of the team, that's a different argument. I don't think it will be the case with Mikey Moore.
Yeah, I just think the young talent should be saying, you know what, I'm better than this guy, I'm going to get in the team. Guys like your kind of like Nathan Patterson back in the day, Kieran Tierney at Celtic. You know what, I don't care if these guys, you keep signing left backs, I'm going to be better than him, and eventually they are. So I think it's a bit. I understand the argument, but I just think that take responsibility, your own careers, and be better. Work harder. Rangers
fans are excited about Mikey Moore. Michael, they think it's a real coup to get him. Celtic fans, they would just love to see signings, just any signings. To be fair, they have been linked. There's some, you know, they will make a few.
They will.
You've got the guy from Man City. But are Celtic fans overreacting in general this summer to the transfer activity or lack of?
I think overreacting is a national trait when it comes to our football team, so there may be a bit of that. But listen, let's take a backward step and look at the bigger picture of Celtic. Celtic are getting to the start of this season in a weaker condition than they were back in January. They've lost Kyogo, they've lost Kuhn, they've lost Jota to injury. They've replaced it with, they bought in Nygren, who looks a good player, but not like for Reich. They've got in Kieran Tierney, who's a good player. But they look weaker than they were at the start of the season. So Celtic fans are taking a step back and going, they're starting the season with a weaker squad, with a pile of money in the bank, and they're asking, why is this? Why is this? I mean, it's just. I mean, I know it's a difficult market, and I know the fees are getting higher. I just think it's a quite right to ask the question to say, listen, we've bought the season tickets, we've invested in this team. It's now time for you to do likewise. They've got a Champions League qualifier in 3 weeks' time. Whoever comes in now has got 3 weeks to get up to speed for that qualifier, which is a make-or-break game to get Champions League. Don't get there. It affects everything about the club. They lose the prospect of a huge injection of cash, 40, 50 million quid. So it changes the whole strategy of the club. So they've left it late. A year ago, Brendan Rodgers said the exact same thing, by the way. We're working hard. They did get in guys late, and it did work out well in the end. Didn't have a qualifier last year in Europe. Went straight in the group stages. Pressure was off there. Now they've got this qualifier. Who are they get? It's going to be tricky. I think fans are overreacting possibly with some of the kind of more extreme stuff, but I think they're right to say, what's going on here? Why are we not stronger?
Michael, no, do you know what they should do? Paul McStay will come out and unfurl the championship flag.
Can you play right wing?
Can he play right wing? Anybody wants to know about how lucky Celtic are right now, they should go and speak to Paul McStay. The generation of fans who watched him. Celtic were a penalty shootout away from a six trebles and
you've got to be realistic.
So actually, when Celtic announced when it came out the other day that Paul McStay would be, you know, playing his part on Flag Day, it took me back to Neil Lennon talking in 2019 about how lucky fans we should be, and it was when the kind of mood, you know, there's similar grumbles just now. Celtic, you know, just won a treble probably again. He was coming along to present the trophy on Trophy Day, and that's what he said. See, younger generation of fans, go and speak to Paul McStay.
Yeah, but he might say, I think it's a biscuit tin now. The biscuit tin really was when he was there.
Exactly. So there has to be a bit of realism.
Yeah, I get that. All right, moving on. We finally know the League Cup Is an early tournament getting underway, obviously.
Yeah. Celtic on a Friday night against Falkirk,
night.
yeah.
I'm sure that'll. I mean, talk about overreacting fans. I make a few upset with a Friday night cup tie. What do you make of the seeding system, Gav? I mean, it's got its critics, hasn't it?
You kind of forget about it a lot of times when you sit down to watch the draw and then you see it, on the screen, it's seeded, non-seeded. And actually, I think it takes a wee bit away from the draw, because right away, well, no, Rangers can't play Celtic.
Rangers a bit home in the they always get the
they always get the hot balls. Hot balls.
I was hot and Como. Should we mix it up a wee bit, maybe?
Totally. Listen, at least
it used to be, did it? Back in the day, it was.
Just get them all in, take their chances. Let's get the big meaty ties. We're at the last 16 stage. I think. To be honest, I would scrap it. Look, if you're Alloa, and you've just landed a game at Ibrox, a big payday.
Old rivals.
It's great for them, yeah, of course. But it's great because obviously, if you get an Old Firm tie, or an Edinburgh derby, you're denying somebody like Alloa the reward for getting through, the chance of a payday that they're getting. So that's the bonus, that's the plus side. The other plus side, of course, is it, it should on paper at least guarantee stronger, more competitive quarterfinals, semi-finals, because the big teams should all be in there.
I would go stronger. I think it's scandalous.
Yeah.
I really do. I think because our game is already so much weighted in the favour of the bigger teams, and I'm talking about Celtic and Rangers here. The last thing they need is more help, and I get it. Listen, it's a cynical ploy because the TV money, they want these guys to meet down the line in the semi-finals and the finals, and I get that, right?
Yeah.
But this is a competition that it should be a chance for other teams to get a bit of success. You've got teams involved in Europe with a distraction, trying to balance 3 tournaments at one time, League Cup and Europe. It should be stretching squads. It should be an opportunity for other teams to go and win a trophy. But we somehow make it even easier for the big teams to keep winning the trophies. And listen, Celtic have hoovered it up for years. I think it would be healthier to open it up, and perhaps you could get an Old Firm tie in the first chance they get. One of the competition, all of a sudden a chance, another team getting to a final.
Yeah.
I think we already tipped the scales so far towards them anyway, and pander to the Old Firm.
Yeah.
I think they should scrap it and make this competition. I also think they should play it on the same week as European games. I think teams in Europe should say, right, take your pick. You put your big team out in Europe, and you put you've got squads of 35 boys. Play them in the League Cup, and I would make it. I'd actually weight it the other way on the other teams and make that competition a fairer competition for everybody else and level the playing field a wee bit. That's what I'd do.
Good shout. So we mentioned Falkirk earlier, Michael. They go to Celtic, of course, in the Premier Sports Cup. They played against Celtic last season, newly promoted in the top flight.
Yeah.
Who are going to surprise, do you think, a few folk in the Premiership this season? I mentioned Falkirk because I'm going to pick them.
Right. I think Falkirk are. I think a lot of people are saying they're going to be a good team to watch, and I think they will get some. I think they'll get some results.
Yeah. Did you watch them? Were you at the game last season when they played?
I've seen them against
Celtic in the Premier Sports
Celtic.
Cup.
I saw them against Hearts as well. I thought they were terrific. I think that they're a good side, and I think they've got momentum from the promotions.
John McGlynn, smart manager.
Oh, great, a cracking manager. Yeah. Wiley, nobody works harder. They talk about giving these players homework and all that stuff, and they get big books like this to go do the research, and he tests them on it and all that stuff. Great manager.
Oh, good.
I think they will get some great results. Whether they can do enough of them to stay out of trouble, wait and see.
Should signings, Scott Bain between the sticks.
Yeah,
Scott Arfield, obviously, he's experienced.
Solid signings.
Brian Graham still got plenty to offer up front.
I think the surprise packages again shouldn't be a surprise, but and it will upset most of the Scottish people, which I quite like as well. Is Livingston. Welcome. Livingston are back, and they are going to be a problem for teams. Because I saw a bit of them last year as well. And by the way, Livingston aren't quite the Livingston people maybe remember. It used to be they're renowned for being direct and strong and physical. They are still that, but they can also play a bit of football as well. I think they're going to be a major thorn in the side for a lot of teams this season. If they can get a few results early on and get some momentum, I think they'll be a team that can be a real nuisance to big teams in Scotland. So I think they're the ones to watch. 10 surprises. I think people are thinking that. I think everybody seems to have condemned Dundee, haven't they?
We'll get to that later because I'm going
to. They might surprise a few folk. I think I quite like.
You might go there. Oh yeah.
By being good.
It would be good to see it.
It would be, but I think there's a few. I think Hibs
St Mirren
again. St Mirren, I think.
Well, it wouldn't be a surprise, would it? I mean, St Mirren.
You'd be more surprised if St Mirren struggled. I think St Mirren at some point are going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
They seem to be. I mean, there's a few times last season that looked a wee bit shaky, and again they pulled it out.
Yeah.
I think they could have a slightly tougher season this season. But that's the good thing about this time of year, isn't it? We don't know. Is someone going to be taking us by a surprise?
So who will be best of the rest? That's the big one.
I'm finding it hard to see by Hearts right now. I know they haven't
Same.
been recruiting that aggressively in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
I just think they've got the building blocks in place there. They've got a good manager. They've not got a distraction of Europe, which I think is huge.
They've used the Premier Sports Cup well. 16 goals, 4 games. I know you've got to take the opposition into account, but you know you can't. It allows you to build momentum. You know, get going. You know when you Because listen, we've seen big teams, in fact Hearts included, probably going out of the Premier Sports Cup early.
Yeah.
So, but they've used it the other way to really get the confidence going.
It just looks a stable environment, doesn't it? It just looks pretty. I mean, I
think
we
know what Derek McInnes does. He just knows the league.
Aberdeen, I think there's question marks. Aberdeen, obviously the European thing. It's going to be we've got a strain on the squad. They're losing a few players. Their season last year was the weirdest season. I mean, they had a great start to the season, which I think was a wee bit built on sand. I mean, a lot of the games that they won early on, I think, were games that they were quite fortunate to edge, and I thought that's going to come back and bite them. I didn't think they'd go 4 months without a win. And then they come back having been hopeless. They get a couple of results to ease a bit of tension, and then they're hopeless again, and then they win the cup out the blue. I mean,
but that cup one was just one of these freaks.
That was fate. I think that was one of the days it was fated almost.
Maybe that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, played for penalty kicks from the first minute and got them.
Yeah.
So I've got question marks at Aberdeen. I mean, I think they've got the momentum from the cup, but I'm not sure. Hibs, to me, and I know they have the heartache of going to Europe, and they've got a tough tie, haven't they, to get to the conference as well. It might, but the European eventually might come to an early end, but that might help them a wee bit again. I think
Hibs could. I don't think Hibs will. I think they could wobble. I think they could.
So?
Yeah, I don't see them doing as well as they finished last season.
No,
I mean, they obviously started bad. I think fifth.
I don't know. I think I can see an Edinburgh shootout to finish third. I think I can see that. I can see the two of them going at it, which would be great. I think as well. We want to see the big Edinburgh teams punching, and Aberdeen could prove me wrong. I think Aberdeen are a question mark rather than. I'm not saying they've got. I mean, I just say we don't really know because last season was such a weird season that they're hard to judge, and they've lost a few as well. So I think it's going to be a good scrap. I think having all these big teams fighting in there will be good.
Yeah. And at the bottom, who's going to go down?
The bottom, aye. See,
you've already said Dundee. Look, the betting of Dundee are favourites to go down, and Livingston are second favourites. So we've talked up Livingston. I mean, I think Dundee. I mean, we talk about the night. I mean, it would be great for Stephen Presley if it did go the other way. I mean, because
two fingers to the rest of the country, and his own support.
But that's what I was going to say. The negativity around Den's part and his appointment, I just think he's on a hide at nothing. And a couple of bad results. I mean, it could just end up toxic up there. And I just don't know how you can succeed in that environment unless he gets off to a real flyer. Unless he goes off to a real flyer and gets the fans on side.
Yeah, but he's already had a start. I mean, some bad results in the League Cup already. It was just put him under the eight ball. It just looked a bizarre decision. I mean, the Dundee's squad last season, a lot of lone players, guys, a lot of injuries and all that stuff. And I think sacking Tony Docherty looked a bit silly, really, because I mean, especially with all the lone players, you knew there was going to be a massive turnover in the summer. And I think, unfortunately, Steve has walked into this, and he's now got a squad that's very short. Yeah. And he's admitted that himself.
See, that's what we forget. They only just scraped by the skin of their teeth. I mean, they were in real danger last season. It's not like he's taking over a team that were riding high.
But again, I think there was reasons why they were struggling. Yeah. I think when you look at, listen, every team suffers injuries, right? But I think Dundee were a bit unfortunate with injuries, and I say they had a lot of lone guys as well, which I think helped them at times, especially the previous year as well. But I think you know that there's going to be massive changes, and it's tricky for them. So they're going to have to get more players in. I think they will struggle. I think there's no doubt they will struggle.
But if you're a fan of Livingston, what about Motherwell and Kilmarnock then? Question marks too.
Listen, these are two teams that have been. I mean, for Kilmarnock, obviously, I've came a crop it and been down at one point. Motherwell seem to be at times always flirting in that kind of area, and then they get out of danger. You worry about at one point Motherwell are going to. This uncertainty with Lennon Miller's not helping them either. I think that needs to be resolved pretty quickly. I think at some point they're going to get. It could catch up with them, but they're going to try and play I mean, the manager wants to play expansive football. And every time I hear that, a team, those kind of teams, you think, well, okay, that's going to be interesting. Kamara as well. I mean, Celtic wants to play a certain way as well. He's a bit more kind of experienced at getting out of trouble. I think these teams that could be at times a struggle, but I think they'll be all right eventually. But it's not going to be an easy road. There'll be times this season they're looking over their shoulder.
Yeah, we will look over our shoulder as well. Down to the Championship. What do you think? What do you make of it this year?
It's always a good. It's always. I mean, I think the Championship. I mean, it's a pure cliche, isn't it? It's a great. It's like you've got to say it. But anytime you go, I mean, unfortunately, don't get to see enough of it. Apart from the things that you get, like the Friday night TV's been great, and you get to these games and they're fantastic. And I think you got. I mean, Ross County are going to spent a few quid already. You think they're going to be strong.
But you know what it's like, teams that drop down, it's difficult to
yeah,
get back up.
They've got that kind of hanging over them sometimes.
There's not many teams that I know Livingston have, but
yeah, it's I mean, St John's been looking at them as well. I think that they might struggle in that capacity, I think, a wee bit. But I think, look at Dunfermline under Neil Lennon, and they've been aggressive in their kind of recruitment. Manager's quite driven. I've spoken to him when he got appointed. He fancies this project. He's not there just to kind of
go through the motions.
He wants to get this team back to the top flight, which would be great. I mean, they're a big club, great support. I think they're ones to watch. I think Raith Rovers are always ones to watch.
What about Lennon's old captain, Scott Brown? That's, I don't know, you've always got eyes on here, haven't you? I mean, it'd be great to see them
again,
come back up.
I think they've been banging the door, haven't they?
I say back up, good.
Well, it's been, I don't know, showing your age, that one. I don't remember the last time. Yeah, they've been banging the door, haven't you? You wonder, I mean, they kind of ran out of steam, didn't they, a wee bit last year?
They did.
Again, I think they've got a young hungry manager and a good squad, and he's lost a couple. For a few of the loans didn't come back, obviously, and a few other ones. But I think, they'll be in a bit. It looks like a bit of a dogfight. I mean, it's hard to see past kind of Dunfermline, St Johnstone, and Ross County. Yeah. But I think Ayr on the mix. I mean, Thistle.
Well, I was going to say, because you've actually got 3 Celtic old boys. You've got Lennon. Scott Brown now Mark Wilson, part. It will be intriguing to see. Obviously, they just missed out in the playoffs last season, but now Mark Wilson's got the job in his own right.
Yeah. I think
they'll be interesting.
And again, we're talking about surprise packages. The Championship always throws up something. We've seen it with our Broth through the years.
Billy Davies in at Morton. That's a shrewd appointment, isn't it?
I mean, how long has he been at the game? I mean, Billy, he's a guy who knows football inside out, isn't he? That's one to keep an eye on as well. They've been a wee bit uncertainty at Morton in recent years. They could do a period of calm. Maybe just kind of if they can get solidify and get themselves in the playoffs, something like that, a great season. But yeah, I think that's going to be a fascinating division as usual. It's always a great watch. Yeah, keep an eye on it.
Let's switch sports, right?
Right.
Ryder Cup. You're a good golf man, so probably by my calculations, 10 out of 12 probably for the Europe's Ryder Cup team are
pretty
probably
much
nailed on.
Yeah,
that would leave 2 places up for grabs.
Well, listen, I don't like to.
What do you think? Give us a dark horse.
Listen, you know me, Gav. I'm not a guy who likes to boast, but I'm just saying that my handicap has come down this year quite substantially.
Is that right?
So listen, I'm not. I say some would say maybe down to single figures for the first time. So
you're saying you're a dark horse?
So listen, if I keep going this trajectory, I've only got a few months, but if I keep going, yeah, 10. I think 10 are sorted.
Right.
I'm looking at the Højgaard brothers. Perhaps getting in, I think that'd be a good kind of combination.
Getting in, because what I was going to say was, surely it's a great story if one replaces the other.
Well, I don't. Would you split them? I think the two of them are so close as well. I mean, the funny thing is that when they're absolutely, you can't tell them apart. Yeah. They even dress the same and all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think you could confuse the American team. Yeah. Like if one goes off, if they're doing the alternate shots, one's having a stinker, you could the same guy get hit the same shot. I don't think you'd even notice. It's like it's uncanny. I think that's.
Okay, so they have to go as a pair.
I think it'd be good to have them. I think it'd be interesting having a pair in there. Yeah.
Because it would be controversial. I mean, how would you feel if you were replacing your brother?
I don't think you could. That's the thing. No. I don't think you could. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've seen Ryder Cups and those guys been scrapping the carpet, but not in the same team. Yeah. But that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Interesting one for me is that Christopher Return, the Norwegian guy. I mean, hitting form at this. I mean, the guy's been plodding along in the background. Became the first Norwegian to play in the US Open. Won a couple of times recently. He's on red hot form. There's always somebody that comes in kind of late to make kind of catch the eye. He might be the one to catch the eye late on. Not a huge amount of big major experience. But then we saw it last year with Ludwig Aberg coming in, having just basically played in one major and straight in, or hadn't even played a major the last Ryder Cup and did superbly. So we've got previous. Europe are in great shape. I think the Europe team looks pretty much sorted just now.
What about Aaron Rye?
Yeah.
Steady.
Yeah.
Good in the foursomes.
Yeah, I think he's another one. He's banging the door.
Englishman.
The guys like kind of Matt Wallace not as well, chapping the door. I just think the European team looks so strong, whereas the American team, I think, looks a wee bit in kind of disarray at the moment. I think they've obviously got a few heavy hitters, but I just think that Europe looks. And by the way, one last one with chuck in. What about Sergio Garcia? I mean, Ryder Cup legend. I mean, it's some decent form on the Live Tour this year.
But that would be a show. That would be a major dark.
Well, listen, you look at his link up with John Ram previously at Ryder Cups and all that stuff. American soil, used to it there, loves the competition, loves the rile them all up. Listen, I wouldn't be writing off Sergio either.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Sergio in there just because of who he is. But again, it's a bit of an outshot at this point in time.
Yeah. Just to wrap up then, Michael.
Right.
Did you last Sunday? Did you watch it? I mean, it was great viewing the Women's World Cup final, wasn't it? I mean, I know it was England winning, but
Yeah.
you know, you could not enjoy the excitement of it all.
Yeah.
So Scotland, we're all looking on with envy. So what? I mean, why are Scotland not there? What have we got to do to get back to the major stage?
Aye, it was funny. I was in Italy with Celtic and Como. Did I mention that I was in Como last week?
Did, yes.
And we're looking for a bar to watch. It was the Rangers Panathinaikos first leg. And we went to very few sports bars in Como. Surprisingly, it's not really a place for sports bars. We have a lot of trendy places and stuff like that. And,
yeah. Don't rub it in anymore, Michael, right?
Beautiful. I mean, obviously, but so I found a bar with TV screens and they were showing something else. I think it was aquatic, the danced underwater stuff and all that. And synchronised swimming. And I said, can you put on the football? And they said, yeah, we're going to put football on. And I said, well, can you put on the Rangers Panathinaikos? No, we're watching Italy against England women team. Right. That game was on.
Yeah.
I said, well, can you put a wee TV with the Scottish football? No, apparently not. So it's interesting watching from that perspective. Italians getting put out. And we didn't get a bank holiday either. I thought we were going to get a bank holiday or a day off in the back of it. But Scotland, it feels as though Scotland are a wee bit stagnated since the World Cup. But 2019, we seem to have gone backwards a wee bit. I think we wasted a few years under Pedro Martinez-Losa. Didn't have an identity, very kind of almost negative, relying on kind of the older guard for a lot longer than they probably should have done. I'm a wee bit more optimistic. I think under
and also it's not fair for us to compare to England.
No, I mean, the resources they've got in that. The WSL is
Chloe
huge.
Kelly, who's she just won the Champions League with Arsenal. She couldn't even get a start. She was been hailed as a super sub.
Yeah. It just feels that we've been left behind a wee bit, isn't it, in Scotland, and domestically and internationally. But aye, it just seems.
And Rachel Corsey's obviously retired. We do have Caroline Weir in Real Madrid. We have got players there in
Cuthbert,
but not enough.
I've never really. I don't think I've used them to their best ability in the national team. I think especially Cuthbert and Weir get more at them in an attacking sense. Listen, Melissa Andriette's come in, the Aussie coach, isn't it?
Yep.
Positive signs.
Well, the games against the Netherlands in the summer as well, they were encouraging performances. World Cup draw at the end of the year. 2 years' time, Women's World Cup in Brazil. It's not one you want to miss out, is it?
I think we need to get there.
Do you want to cover it?
I would. For Como to the Copacabana, I think I've still got my.
That's a headline.
I've still got my swimmies from last week, so that would be great.
I'm not sure you would fit in the Copacabana with your budgie smuggles,
my speedos.
Oh no! What a thought.
We get the beach shut.
What an image.
I think the new Jaws film, Killer Whales. I just think we need something to catch fire. I hope it does under the new manager.
Yeah.
Some good young players coming through. Mia McCauley and all that stuff. I hope something happens and get the public attention again, because I feel as though it's been lost.
Yeah.
And this half empty or quarter, four-fifths empty handing isn't helping anyone either. We need to get back and get a bit of excitement back in the game. So fingers crossed that they do turn it round. Yeah. But listen, there's going to be plenty of excitement this season. A new campaign. We're going to be following it all the way. We're going to be tuning in every week, as always, to Game On. We'll tackle the big topics. But listen, thanks for watching.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, good to be back. We're up and running. You catch us all in the usual places, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Facebook, on all these places. We've not been hit with this new ban. Apparently, some websites have been blocked. Apparently,
is that right?
But we're all right.
What ones?
I don't know. I've just heard some people complain about it. I don't know. It's not for me to say. But we're all right. We're sniff under the radar.
Family friendly.
We're family friendly for time being. We'll be back again next week to do it again. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.